Grandmaster Nightfalls are back in Destiny 2, which means that we are back to covering how to easily complete them. We've got a rough lineup of GMs this season, and this week's GM is a brutal way to start off, as we're starting with the Glassway, which is notorious for being one of the hardest GMs in the game. However, today's guide will help you beat this GM a little bit easier. If you found today's video useful, consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel for more GM guides that will drop every reset. So with that being said, let's get to it. Let's talk loadouts first. For the Glassway GM, you'll need to cover Arc and Solar Shields and be able to stand anti-barrier and overload champions. To do so, we're going to have two players run identical loadouts. For players 1 and 2, run Arbalest or Izanagi's Burden for anti-barrier champions. For secondaries, run a Solar and Arc Scout Rifle. This will take out all of the elemental shields throughout the strike. For heavy weapons, run Taipan 4FR to take advantage of the Void Burn the strike offers. For player 3, run either Ignition Code for blinding grenades or Night Watch for anti-barrier. For your secondary, run Divinity for overload champions and for the 30% debuff to the boss. And for your heavy, run Taipan 4FR to once again take advantage of the Void Burn that the strike offers. For subclasses, you could run a range of different combinations, with the main subclasses I'd choose being Void Hunter, Well Warlock, Stasis Warlock, or Void Titan. Feel free to run any of those three, as any combination of those three will do you justice. Finally, run mods like Thermo Shock Plating, Sniper Resistance, and Concussive Dampener to reduce damage. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get to the guide. When starting off, you have the possibility of spawning into an instance that has a public event, so if that happens to your team, hit the rally flag and continue forward. When your team arrives in the first area, you'll have some Vandals and an Overload Captain to deal with, so deal with them fast. Once your team runs by this rock right here, some Shanks and some Sniper Vandals will spawn, so move past the rock once you're ready. Once you've dealt with all of the enemies here, you'll come by the first barrier you need to deactivate. It'll deactivate once all the ads are dead. You'll have some Dregs, an Overload Captain, and a Barrier Servitor to kill, so once they're all dead, you can move forward. When your team arrives at the second barrier, you'll have a Fallen Boss, some ads, and an Overload Captain to deal with. Focus the Overload Champion, the boss, and then the ads. After a while, a Barrier Champion will spawn, so deal with that and then move on. You will then have one final barrier to deactivate, which will come with the same exact enemies as the previous barrier, so deal with them in a similar order and then move on once that barrier drops. In the next area, you'll have a variety of different fallen enemies to deal with, including 2 overload champions about halfway through this area, so focus them once you see them and move on once all ads are dead. Leaving the past area will bring you to the plate section, which will bring you some serious problems if you are not prepared for what's to come. Similar to other GMs you will be dealing with this season, you do not want to full send this plate, or else you'll have catastrophic consequences. To begin, have 2 of your players sit behind these fallen barricade things, and have 1 player run to the plate. Your team will get the first wave of ads at around the 5 to 10% mark, which will be a few Shanks that will spawn up on the sides of the walls. The next spawn will be around 30 to 35%, which will bring some more Shanks, including a few Sniper Vandals. At around the 70% mark, you'll start to get the rest of the ads, which are Big Shanks, Sniper Shanks, and Exploding Shanks. Once the plate is done, slowly work your way through the rest of the ads, which will include Dregs, Vandals, an Overload Captain, and a Barrier Servitor. Once the barrier on the other side drops, proceed to the final boss. Once you've killed all those ads, you're on to the final boss fight, which is a brutal part of this GM. The fight starts when all ads are dead in the room, so save a Dreg so that way your team can get ammo and get into position. I know that there is a cheese in this room, but I won't be providing how to do it because I feel as if the cheese does more harm than good. Instead, we'll be utilizing the left room for protection. Once the encounter starts, my team chose to run to the outer left hallway to try and kill the ads that come from the left portal, more specifically the Overload Champ that spawns here. Once you've killed or attempted to kill the ads there, run back inside and be ready, because once you get inside, ads will start to come in through the middle passageway. You shouldn't need to worry about ads coming from the right side, but more so the middle and left sides. Focus the overloads first, as they are very dangerous and will wipe your team easily. Once all ads are dead, begin to chip away at the boss's health bars. As soon as both bosses have lost a third of their health, have your team run back to that left hallway again to spawn kill ads. Once you've killed the ads, have your team locate and carefully kill the second wyvern. From there, finish the rest of the ads, including champions, drop the smaller Hydra down to half health, and then kill the new ads. Once all ads are dead, drop the Hydra down to a third of health, where they'll leave, but the big Hydra will then spawn. The fight will continue as usual from here, with ads spawning with damage being dealt to the boss, so repeat the same process over and over again. Once both Hydras return in the final part of the fight, kill ads, then drop the small Hydra's health bar to a 1/6 of health, but do not kill it, as ads will begin to spawn and you do not want to get overrun. Once those ads die, including the champions, kill the Hydras to make for an easy completion of the Glassway GM. That is going to wrap up the first GM guide of Season of Plunder. If you found the video useful, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more Destiny content dropping every week. If you need help with this GM or any other GMs available this season, be sure to stop by my stream that happens right here on YouTube every Tuesday through Friday. If you want additional content from me, then stop by my TikTok page for highlights and short videos. I've been posting pretty often over there, so drop a follow if you enjoy yourself over there. With that being said, I'm SniperKH, and I'm out. Good luck with gaming.